Time for Who's In, Who's Out. These are the 12 teams we believe will make the NFL playoffs. It is a very fluid situation in the National Football League, fellas. So, let's take a look at the AFC. We'll start in the East. 4-2 Patriots, 3-2 Bills, 3-2 Miami, 3-3 Jets. All are in play. Pete Thompson.
Got to stay with the Patriots, Mike. I've been going with them. They found a way to win despite being down to the Jets. That was an eye-opener for me, but they are 3-0 on the road so far. Their point differential, we know their defense is terrible, and that could be their Achilles heel. I still think they'll win the division. How far they'll go in the playoffs, who knows? But the game is who's in, who's out, they're in.
All right, Josh, who wins the East?
Got the Patriots. Can't move away from them.
I think we're all sticking with the Pats. No one has moved them out quite yet, but is it getting close? We'll find out.
If they had lost to the Jets, you'd be having a different conversation.
In the North, Pittsburgh is in the lead, 4-2. Baltimore 3-3, 3-3. Bengals 2-3. They've won 2 in a row. 3 teams in play. Josh, you got?
In the North, I have the Steelers. I can't move away from them. I think that they have of all the teams in the North, they're the most complete team at this point. And going to Kansas City and beating them says a lot.
For some idiot reason, I moved away from the Steelers last week. I don't know why I did that. I had them in every other week. Well, they're back in after what they did against the Chiefs. The Steelers win the AFC North.
Got the Steelers as well as they go on the road to win in Kansas City. We've been waiting for them to have that kind of game. They finally had it last week. Go to the South. Tennessee 3-3. Jacksonville 3-3. Houston 3-3. Indianapolis 2-4. 4 teams in play in the South. Pete Thompson.
Hardest division to predict. I had Houston in week 1, Jacksonville week 2, Tennessee week 3, Tennessee week 4, Tennessee week 5. I mean, come on, make a decision, Thompson. Yeah, Tennessee is in now in week 7. Through week 7, this is week 7 of us playing the game. 6 weeks, Tennessee wins the South. It's a tough one, though.
I'm on the Deshaun Watson train, and I'm not moving off of it. Texans defense may be
Mark that down.
weaker.
Not moving off of it.
Heard it.
Listen, the Texans defense may be weaker, but Deshaun Watson, he leads the NFL in passing touchdowns. That's saying something for a rookie.
I got Tennessee. When Mariota's back, they're the best.
Even at less than 100%, they won last night.
When he plays, they're the best team in that division. In the West, you've got 5-1 Kansas City, 3-2 Denver, 2-4 LA, 2-4 Oakland. Really 2 teams in play. Josh, you got?
Sticking with the Chiefs, despite the loss, I'm not impressed with what the Raiders have done the last 2 weeks. I think the Broncos, I don't see them beating the Chiefs twice this year. So because of that, I just see the Chiefs as the #1 team.
I've got the Chiefs as well, Mike Gill. Kansas City did lose to Pittsburgh, but everybody's allowed a hiccup, and they're not going to be the 72 Dolphins, for gosh sakes. The way the Denver Broncos look against the Giants revealed maybe more to me than the Chiefs lost to the Steelers, so I've got the Chiefs in.
I got the Chiefs from week 1 to week 6. The Chiefs in the West. Wild cards. They need 2. Pete Thompson, who do you got?
Here's one that I don't think's been in my who's in, who's out yet. Miami. They were a playoff team last year. They've won a couple in a row.
Miami side.
I am coming back, especially if Ajay can run the football the way he did it on Sunday. I've got Miami in. And I've got Houston in as well. I'm not as high on the Deshaun Watson train as maybe Josh is, but I do think that Houston can be a playoff team. That is with the caveat of can they overcome all the injuries they've had.
To steal Pete's ism with the Chiefs, I am keeping the Broncos in because I can't hold one loss against them. You know, the Giants' loss was pretty embarrassing. I'm keeping them in the playoffs. I still think it's a very good defense. I'm making one change this week on the AFC side. I'm putting the Titans back in the playoffs. Seeing Mariota back on the field reinvigorates my confidence in the Titans as the playoff team.
I've got Denver and Houston. I like Watson. I still think their defense could give them some issues down the road. I think an 8-8 or 9-7 team is going to get the wild card spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if that wins the South as well. But the AFC, not a lot of attractive options just yet on that side of the ball. All right, let's go to the NFC. We go from the bottom up. We start in the West. Josh, your honor.
Well, the standings have the Rams currently at the top because just mathematically, but I still have the Seahawks going to win that division because I think that them going to LA this year, beating the Rams, was a big deal, and I think they're going to find a way to finish the deal in this season.
I'm with Josh. The Rams may be in first place on the standings, but I still think the Seahawks are the team to go through in the NFC West. The Rams are still too new for me to put all my chips behind.
I like the Rams. I'm going to stick with them. 179 points. They went on the road last week and got back on track after a loss at home.
They're 3-0 on the road.
They are 3-0 on the road. They've also played Seattle tough. They played Seattle tough in that game. That's not to say they couldn't go to Seattle and muck a game up and win like a 9-3 game like they did last year. I think the Rams are legit. I'm going to stick with the Rams in the West. All right, in the South, you've got 4-2 Carolina, 3-2 New Orleans, 3-2 Atlanta, 2-3 Buccaneers, 4 teams in play. Pete Thompson.
I gave this one a long look, Mike Gill, because it is hard to ignore the fact that after starting out 0-2, the Saints have ripped off 3 straight wins to get into second place.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm staying with Carolina in the South. Carolina, to me, even though they tripped up against the Eagles, they're a team to go through, and I'm going with Cam Newton and the Panthers, Carolina. They had a little bit of an upset or a little mistake against the Eagles, but that's the team in the South.
This is one of my changes in the NFC. I actually have a bunch of changes in the NFC this week. I am putting the Panthers in instead of the Falcons. The loss to the Bills, okay, things happen. The loss to the Dolphins,
after being up 17.
Steve Sarkisian may kill this team's chance to make a playoff. The change between him and Kyle Shanahan has been way more than anybody expected. Falcons out, Panthers in.
I went with Panthers from week 1. I think I took them out once. They're back, even though they lost on Thursday night. I like what I see from the Panthers overall, although Kuechly being out could be an issue. I thought they said he didn't have a concussion. Now he's in the concussion protocol. He's a big loss for them. When he's out, that's a different team. But I still like the Panthers because, quite frankly, I don't trust Atlanta. I never have, I never will. Don't trust that Atlanta team. Dirty Birds. North, 4-2 Minnesota, 4-2 Green Bay, 3-3 Detroit, 2-4 Bears. You got 4 teams in play within 2 games. Josh Hennig, what do you got?
One of my other changes, Aaron Rodgers' injury, I think, is way more detrimental than people realize. Brett Hundley is nowhere near good enough to fill that void. I have the Vikings in the NFC North with Case Keenum.
Pete Thompson.
I'll take a little bit of a lead from Josh, what he usually does, and change it to P-A-N-I-C. Panic. That's what the Packers fans should be doing right now because they don't have Aaron Rodgers. To me, that puts Minnesota right in the driver's seat. Lions look wishy-washy. They can't figure out their identity, and I don't care that the Bears won in Baltimore. That means nothing to me. Vikings, I have winning the North.
Minnesota's given up 103. They should get Diggs back this week. They got the best defense. Obviously, Rodgers out. The Lions disappointing. I've got Minnesota winning the North at 4-2. In the East, we've got 5-1 Philadelphia, 3-2 Washington, 2-3 Dallas. 3 teams in play. Pete Thompson.
Eagles have won 4 in a row. They're the class of the NFC right now. They're certainly the class of the NFC East. E-A-G-L-E-S.
I'm sticking with them for the 4th straight week. Eagles, division, East. Nail it.
When you got the number 1 odds-on favorite to win the MVP, your defense has only given up 122. It's second best in the division, but Washington has played 1 less game. So theoretically, they've got the best offense and defense in that division right now. They've won 4 straight. Philadelphia on top of the East. Wild cards. Here we go. Josh Hennig, who do you got?
I am putting the Rams in the wild card. I was extremely impressed. They are now 3-0 away from home. And they went from West Coast to East Coast to beat the Jags. I got the Rams in. I'm also making another change. I am also putting the Saints in the playoffs. The Saints are 2-1 away from home. And they have, I believe it's one of the top, it's the 3rd highest point differential in the NFC. among the teams. So I got the Saints in the playoffs.
They're not that good. They had to score 45 or more just to beat Detroit. Detroit's not that good. I've got Atlanta and Green Bay in there. The Falcons have lost 2 in a row, but I still think they're in the conversation. I think they make the wild card. And then Green Bay, who knows how their path to the victory without Aaron Rodgers, but it's not like the rest of the team all of a sudden forgot how to play football. I know he makes a big difference. I think they ham and egg their way through and grab one of the wild card spots.
For me, I'm going with Seattle and Washington.
2 playoff.
Not Seattle, Washington. Seattle and Washington. I think the Redskins actually have a good shot to make the playoffs here. I think this is a big week for them. If they lose this game, they would be out of the division race for the most part, but I think they can make a wild card push. You got Dallas with the Ezekiel Elliott issue going on there. Green Bay with the quarterback problems. I'm not buying into Detroit. And New Orleans needs to show me a little bit more. I never like Atlanta, Seattle, and Washington. They're your 2 wild card teams in week number 6 of the NFL. That is who's in and who's out here on the Sports Bash.